Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a marathon by only Fleetwood Mac. I'm super excited about this one. Thank you so much, Michael, for sponsoring this video. I can't wait because there's a couple of things I wanted to mention that Michael included in his marathon. But first, thank you, of course, for the video, and all you guys, for being here. If you're a Fleetwood Mac fan, I'm sure you're gonna like this. So please do not forget to like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel if you think it's worth it. So here we go with the songs. I'm gonna go step by step a little bit here because there's a lot of information that Mike added. So it says, first of all, here are the songs for my next marathon, which I'm calling Before They Were Superstars. So, okay, that's kind of good to know. I mentioned I might do this in a previous marathon after you enjoyed the instrumental numbers, Sunny Side of Heaven, so much. So this is a selection of songs by Fleetwood Mac, all before Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham joined the band and they became superstars. So that's super interesting to know. Thank you. I wouldn't have known this. Only you guys know this, of course, because you know the albums. These songs all come from albums released between 1971 and 74 and all feature the core members Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, Christine McVie. They also include guitarist vocalist Bob Welch, who went on to have a very successful solo career after he left the band, guitarist vocalist Danny Kirwan, who penned Sunny Side of Heaven. Awesome. Is featured on 4 of the tracks, and guitarist Bob Weston on 1. Fleetwood Mac started out as a British blues band and evolved into their more pop rock focus towards the end of the string of albums as Welch and Christine McVie's songwriting moved in that direction, setting them up for the major success they had with the new and most enduring lineup. I'm sure some folks are going to say you should have included this, that, or Peter Green Days, but this is what I come up with. So this is very nice to mention because that's a lot of comments are just a repetition of that and that and that, and that it gets a little bit tiresome because this is what it is. And Mike, he requested this and he's sponsoring the video. So I think that's, and he's also doing it for a specific reason. Again, just scratching the surface, Fleetwood Mac have been around since the late 60s, and many people feel their earlier work featuring Peter Green and Jeremy Spencer was their best work. I love this middle section of the band's career with Kirwan, Welch, and McVie excelling in their evolving songwriting skills. Hope you enjoy. And then, so now I'm gonna, of course, go track by track. So we're gonna start it off with Child of Mine from the album Bare Trees, 1972, the 6th studio album from the band, and the last album to feature Danny Kirwan in the lineup. Kirwan wrote and sings lead on this track. So this is the information, and I'm gonna go after the song the other information. So let's listen to this, Child of Mine. I hope you enjoy. Thank you again so much, Mike, for all the info. This was very, very good because otherwise I would have no idea who's playing on this. That way I don't have to go on Wikipedia and stuff like that. I was gonna say an S like that. I can just enjoy the music for what it is. So here we go. So I hope you enjoy, and let's go.
Child of mine, you'll be loving like your little mother did. Heard it somewhere before. I won't leave you, no, not like my father did. Heavy country blues keep a rockin', keep that soul beat a sockin'.
crazy. Like it sounds so different, you know, this Fleetwood Mac. I'm loving it. It doesn't it I mean it has of course a structure, but the structure is totally different, a totally different style of music. It's more like a jam. There's a lot of jamming, there's a lot of guitar. It doesn't have that, you know, that almost that pop rock vibe, you know, of that other Fleetwood Mac, which is, I wouldn't call it pop rock, but it was just such a successful formula. Like when you listen to The Chain or stuff like that, you know, that style. I really love this. It's almost like comparing, you know, the Doobie Brothers before Michael McDonald took over the lyrics, because it made it more commercial and more like, I don't know, like I love this. It has this really like rock and roll vibe, you know, and then the later one, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I love those albums. But they do sound like a totally different band, and yes, they are a totally different band, because with other members come other ideas. It's like, you know, listening to one of my favorite bands, like Dream Theater, you know, when you listen to the first 4 albums, they're amazing. And, but when they change keyboard players, it's just a different band. It's because it's a different dynamic. It's a different compositional style with Jordan Rudess. They sound like 2 different bands, you know, so I guess with this as well, but really, really interesting. I'm really digging this very, very much.
Heard it somewhere before. I won't leave you, no, not like my father did. Heavy country blues keep a rockin', could keep that soul beat a socket. Heavy country blues keep a rockin', could keep that soul beat a socket. I'll miss you again. I like the sunlight through your eyes. I won't cry. I'll miss you again. I like the sunlight through your eyes. I won't cry. I'll miss you again. I like the sunlight through your eyes. I won't cry.
Wow, man. This little part here, it reminded me of Led Zeppelin. I know Led Zeppelin is completely different in every aspect of the way, but this little passage, this da 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 down da 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 da, because the guitar was pretty much harmonizing with the vocals. It reminds me of that da 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 bam ba da da bam bam ba da da da. Nobody fool. I don't know, something like that, but it reminded me of that song in that section right there. Not of Led Zeppelin. I'm not comparing them, please. All right. Okay. What else? This was great. It was just such a different take of Fleetwood Mac. It's like totally. If somebody would have played this to me, I would have never guessed it's Fleetwood Mac. Not in a million years. But I would recognize them with, you know, with the I mean, what Michael was talking about. Once the new members got added to the band, I would recognize them in a heartbeat. But here it's just like a more of a jam band. It's just like very, very interesting. Okay, so second song is Come a Little Bit Closer from the album Heroes Are Hard to Find. 1974 is the ninth, imagine, already the ninth studio album from the band. The last album to feature Bob Welch and the last album before Stevie and Lindsay joined. Okay, so we're going, after we're going to go backwards again, 74 and then 71, 73, 72. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. It was their most successful album in the US to that point. The album was just a foursome, which with Welch and McVie handling all the songwriting and singing. This sweeping ballad written by McVie and featuring her soaring vocals is my favorite Fleetwood Mac song of all time. Something about the melody and the strings, it's gorgeous. All right. Thank you so much for that, because now I'm gonna listen to it very, very hard. So, I mean, I always do that, but I'm just going to pay some extra attention here. Yes, very nice. Beautiful. I mean, her voice is so like soft and just beautiful and relaxing, you know, to listen to. And I loved all the slide guitar, beautiful like way of, you know, just, you know, being part of, like, I loved all the strings, I loved all the guitar, I loved it was just her. And yeah, I can see why this is your favorite song. It's just sweet melody, you know, sweet, and the lyrics are also very, very cute, you know. And what a loss, man, honestly, you know, that she passed away. And now I can finally also, you know, recognize her way better than I think the first time I did a Fleetwood Mac reaction. I think it was her singing, and I said the wrong, you know, the wrong name, and I got a little bit of flack for that. But I mean, you know, it just happens, you know. And I said it was Stevie, but it was Christine. But beautiful, beautiful song. Can't wait to listen to it again, to share it with Alexia. I would really like to show that one to Alexia. And I think she's also like such a fan of the later Fleetwood Mac. So I think this is also going to turn her a little bit like, wow, like they sounded really different, you know. I think she hasn't heard. I sent her all the music, but it just takes time for her, you know, to catch up. I think she hasn't heard the instrumental. Okay, so now we're going to go back to 1971, Future Games from Future Games, the band's fifth studio album, and the first one to include Christine McVie as a full member. That's awesome. She played on previous two, but wasn't yet a member. I've seen that before in other bands, but they're still hired guns. It's also the first 5 albums to feature Bob Welch. This dreamy track is from Welch and was featured in the movie Almost Famous. Oh, one of my favorite movies. Okay, cool. Maybe I know this because I say one of my favorite movies, but so are another 100. But I just loved Almost Famous. I actually bought it twice. I bought the just the normal version, and then a couple of days ago I saw it for $5 on Vudu. Vudu is like a stream. It's not a stream. Yes, I mean, yes, you buy digital movies, and there was the 3-hour version, and I just loved. I used to watch that movie a lot with the audio commentary on with what's his name, Cameron Crowe, and it's pretty much like a true story because he used to be a reporter as a kid, you know, and he used to do all that. Everything that happens in the movie is based off of like true stuff, you know, so that's kind of cool. And I also love the child actor in that film who kind of disappeared completely. I've seen him in some stuff, but he's just like, I guess he doesn't have that same charm, I guess, now as an adult. He looks kind of, you know, he was adorable in that Almost Famous movie, but now I guess I don't know. But he's a good actor. Everyone did an amazing job in Almost Famous. Just a great film. Okay, so I guess let's give it up for that song. Maybe I do remember it. I'll definitely let you guys know. So here we go with Future Games. Oh, also, this one is the longest one. We're looking at 8 minutes and 19 seconds. Here we go. Do one thing. I don't recognize it, but also sometimes when songs are featured in movies, it's like 10 seconds, 5 seconds. It's just like they're walking from point A to point B, or there's something happening, they're driving, and you hear, the soundtrack of the time. That usually happens a lot, but no, I don't recognize the song at all. Like nothing. It almost sounds like Alan Parsons' Project. The voice very, I don't know, but very cool. I'm loving it. Wow, what an amazing instrumental section, like those two guitars harmonizing there. Like, yeah, I don't know which part they took for the movie, but man, what a great song. Very like you said, like dream, it has so many sections. It's really, really good. Really, really good. All right.
There's no escape. Future sends a sign of things we will create. Baby, it's alright, and so have faith. Oh yeah, you invent the future that you wanna face.
so different. So I mean, there was so much build up, you know. I mean, to get to that vamp at the end, and I loved you, you know, the improvisation, a lot of guitar playing, you know, like solos, and not too saturated, not too flashy, you know, just like enough for the song to breathe. And even though it's a long song, I was never kind of like it got never too repetitious or anything. I wonder, this is like a question, because with bands, like I have only like one or two bands that I can make this example with, you know, like which are more like hard rock metal bands like Iron Maiden or Metallica. You guys, that when you saw these guys live, did they ever play older stuff, or would they just stick to the new stuff? Because this is what happens with a couple of bands, like they have like amazing songs on their albums, and they never really like play those songs live. They just stick to like really the biggest hits. That's why I was so surprised when we went to see Iron Maiden this last time. I literally was standing there crying, because this was the first time ever in the history of Iron Maiden that they played this one song called Alexander the Great, which is on their Somewhere in Time album. They had never played it live ever. That's crazy. And I was lucky enough to see them live, and they performed it. I couldn't believe it. You know, I've never seen a video on YouTube. I've loved that song all my life. I've like learned the solos. I've learned the song. I played it live with my band. It's super freaking hard to play. It's almost prog, you know? And then they started playing the song. I can't believe it. And it was just like, so was there ever a song like this, you know, that's lengthy, or maybe an instrumental, that you were like, oh my God, I hope they play the song, and then they finally played it? That's what I would like to know. This was really, really good. Very different. I mean, so different from their newer albums. Crazy. Okay. Let's see what Mike has to say here about this tune. Let's see. It's Just Crazy Love from the album Mystery to Me, 1973. Guitarist Bob Weston joined the band for 2 albums, with this being his second and final appearance. It was their 8th studio album, and this track is an upbeat, fun song from Christine McVie that always cheers me up. All right, let's give it up for Just Crazy Love. I do recognize the cover on this one.
Sweet, sweet way, you'll always be the only one. And if you let me say, you'll never be the lonely one. Well, you just got something, makes a girl stop feeling crazy. And I'll do anything if you let me be your baby. Even when everybody tells me I'm just being a fool, something inside says I've gotta have you, and I can't play by the rules. Oh, baby, baby, tell me there's a chance for me, because I'm crazy about you. I know this is love for me. Well, you just got something, makes a girl stop feeling crazy. And I'd do anything if you
bass that sells it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Christine, you know, that's like what I call like, I'm pausing, like radio, you know, radio gold, you know, it's just like, you know, that this is gonna be a hit because it has catchy singing, the catchy bass, just the whole thing is just good, you know, it's just very catchy, easy to listen to. Even Mike said it cheers me up. I mean, if it cheers you up, I'm sure it cheered up millions, you know. It's a great song. Just Crazy Love. And you know, the lyrics, just people can relate. And that's just, I don't know if it's music. You know, today I did a marathon of amazing artists, like, and they're all from 2023, and they're all more jazz, you know, jazz players and stuff. But I was so impressed with what music today has to offer, because I had lost hope. I thought, you know, we live in an era where there's like pretty much like there's no good music left, and I couldn't be more wrong. You know, there is music that's being recorded as we speak right now, you know, by amazing artists with a lot of talent, great ideas, great taste and everything. But the problem is it just doesn't get any kind of recognition or market. You know, there is no market because the talking heads, pretty much, you know, the people at the top, they don't want anything. Look, it's almost like where are those record producers and record companies of yester, you know, of these times that would push music like this forward, you know, and so it would get radio play. And now good music doesn't get any radio play because I think these new people that are in charge of the music industry, they're the ones that are at fault here, you know. Like, so I have hope that the right people that have a good musical education will get to where these record companies, these bosses are, and then we will get good music back. Because if you give, you know, the masses bad music, that's all they know, and that's what they'll consume. And this is what's been going on. That's why people have no real good taste in music, because they really don't know any better, you know. So they need more bad music, make more of this, you know. So that's pretty much the problem, you know. The problem is that the music is bad because nobody wants better music, because they don't know that it exists, and they would never listen to something from the 70s because it's too old for them, you know. I mean, I have that mentality too. Like I for some reason, when you're young and, you know, and you have, I don't know, you just like think that way for some reason, you know. I was happy. I'm lucky that I had parents that grew up with this music, you know, and they showed it to me. So, but you know, it's just I don't know. I think I have hope that it's gonna turn around, just like fashion does, and, you know, everything, you know, and taste. It's gonna have to change eventually, you know. Also movies, you know, people are freaking like fed up with the movie industry, and because it's always pushing a certain agenda, and people are like honestly done, you know. For example, this whole superhero, like I've never been a fan of superhero movies. They put me to sleep. Like I can't, I've tried to watch a superhero movie. Like I just like, yeah, like the other day, because I know Alexia will not watch them. So I tried to, like, there was this Aquaman on HBO or Max. And I'm like, okay, let's give it a try, you know. I like Jason Momoa because he was in Game of Thrones and stuff like that, and he's basically Alexia's man crush. So let's watch Jason Momoa and Aquaman, and I'm just like, you know, I'm like, I see myself, like, I'm just like, it puts me to sleep. I don't know why, man. Like, I just watched Dune yesterday, 2 hours and 45 minutes of people whispering, being quiet, having dialogue, no action. There's a lot of action in the movie, don't get me wrong, but there's 40 minutes of nothing, of just dialogue. Very interesting, very cool. A movie that would put a normal person that watches superhero movies to sleep. But I'm engaged, because it's the dialogue, it's the story, it's about, I don't know, but superhero movies, they're so loud and there's so much stuff happening that it almost like massages my brain into sleep. It's so weird, So people are just like now fatigued with all this superhero stuff, and like finally they're like, enough. Like, that's all you're doing. Like, give us something else. I was so happy yesterday that I saw a trailer of Ghostbusters. I love those guys. I love, Bill Murray and what's his name? Venkman in the movie. You know who I'm talking about. The Blues Brother. Just like, oh my God, I can't believe they're back in their 70s. I don't know how old they are. They're back, and it's the son of the original director. So I think we're gonna have, like, I see a change there. Like, the superhero fever is finally dying down, and people are just also fed up with just, movie studios ruining like old classics, like Star Wars and Disney classics. Don't touch that stuff. Come up with your own stuff. Don't remake everything. Now we get a remake of Roadhouse. We get a remake of Total Recall. We get everything. There's like 100. They're literally remaking everything from the 80s, and it's just bad. Don't touch those classics. They're good movies. They don't need to be remade. You just watch the original. Like, if they remake Back to the Future, like, I'm done, because it's perfect. It's a perfect trilogy. It works. It's timeless. So is movies. Older movies. Like Citizen Kane. The Godfather. You don't touch those movies. They're perfect. Perfect. The Shawshank Redemption. Just come up with new stuff. Like, be creative. And I hope that's gonna happen. I feel it's gonna happen. It has to happen, because you can't just remake everything. It's like, it's getting really old. Okay, so enough of my rambling, but it's not a good video if there's not a little bit of rambling in the video. So Bear Trees from the album Bear Trees 1972. We close with this title track from the 6th studio album, written and sung by Danny Kirkwan. All right, here we go. Thank you so much, Mike. Awesome. Totally changed my perspective how I view the, Fleetwood Mac as a whole now, like um pretty much what happened to us both, like Alexia and I, with Genesis, with pretty much Yes. Like it was ridiculous because when we thought of Yes, we thought of Owner of a Lonely Heart because that's pretty much the most played song of them, and so we're like, I don't know, I think I've asked Alexia, because we're both Pink Floyd, fans, and they're from the 70s and stuff, and I was like, have you ever heard Yes? Because I think I'd heard before, like a part of like, because I found it very interesting, the that arpeggio section, because I'm such a arpeggio freak, and I heard that before, and that's pretty much it, and I asked you like Yes? Oh yeah, but I don't know, like we didn't even know that there was a 70s Yes and all this amazing majestic stuff that they play. And the same with Genesis, I thought Land of Confusion, that was it. I thought Genesis and Phil Collins was the same style, the same direction. So I never thought I would hear something like Supper's Ready, for the fifth, and have my mind blown. So it's like with this, and I'm not saying that they're stuff that we've heard, like their 70s stuff, their later 70s stuff, like the album literally after 74. I'm not comparing that with, like 80s Genesis or 80s Yes, but now I have a bigger picture of what Fleetwood Mac are, with only the first, elements of musicians. And sometimes it's so cool that, there's just people that come to the band and they totally overhaul the whole experience. And I've seen that with different albums, like for example, one of my favorite guitar players, even though he's not very recognized, like Yngwie Malmsteen, I think he's just more recognized with guitar players, that like to play really fast. But it really changed when he changed vocalists. Like he has like this instrumental album, yet, and then he had an amazing vocalist in the second album, and then the third album kind of like, okay, sounds a little bit more like almost Van Halen-ish, and then the fourth album he hired Joe Lynn Turner, which you guys know from Rainbow, and that is pretty much the height of his career because it just sounded so good. And also I guess he's not really like a writer, he's just a great guitar player, but his writing is just not there. And Joe Lynn Turner, that album is just the peak, of his career. He still recorded 20 albums more, but it never got to that, to that level. And I guess they just reached that like level of like amazing superstardom, with these other two members. So thank you so much, Michael, for showing me something, before. And I love the title, Before They Were Famous. This was a great idea. Thank you so much for showing me something, different. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're a fan of this band, do like the video. Maybe subscribe to the channel if you think it's worth it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next one.